Namhlanje besize embassy yama-Dutch ukuze sizoletha memorandum ekhalazo zethu. Esokuqala esokuthi sicela ukuthi kugezwe umhlaba. Ngoba umhlaba unjena nje sibona kubulawa nabantu kudlengula hayi ngoba kuyinto yamanje. Yinto ukuthi khona into evunguzayo. Abantu abalala behlanywe imkhonto bashona behlonywe imkhonto badliwa yilwane emahlathini azange bangcwatshwa abanye bangena emifuleni imifula namhlanje iziyanconywa kuthiwa ama blood river ngoba kunegazi eligobhozayo kodwa azange lagezwa lelo gazi. Manje sifuna ukuthi kugezwe lelo gazi ngoba okhokho ababulawa bayakhuluma manje abalele badinga ukuthi kugezwe izwe. Manje njengoba thina yithe samosha asikwazi ukuyigeza thina. Kufanele labantu abasimosha kube yiba basigeza. Inkulungwane zabantu zashona okhokho bethu abanye kumanje simina sinokhokho nje wethu owathathwa amangisi wayongcwatsha namanje amathambo wakhe asakawatholi sesiyathola ukuthi useZimbabwe kodwa ukumbuyisa la yindleko sifuna bona bakwenze lokho. Inkosi eyakamabaso umbilini yathathwa ngoba kuthiwa yona kungani ingangene empini ngoba kwangase umuntu othanda impi. Okwesibili sifuna umhlaba. Labantu amangisi namaDashi wafika umhlaba ukhona. Baza ngomkhumba bazanga nomhlaba. Balithathaphi ilungelo lokuthi bona kube yibo abasikela umuntu isiqephu ukuthi thatha lokho ekubeni bekuthole kukhona. Ngiyabonga bayedi yabonga.
Amandla mayibuye South Africa mayibuye
bayawazi umhlaba ukuthi bawuthathe ezandleni zobani konke bakwenza bakwazi kahle mabakubuyise futhi kithi ngoba manje na umhlaba sifuna ukuthi ubuye kithi thina sizwe sikithi sizwe sinyama ingane zakwethu zonke zona zomthonyama ngiyabacela laba ikhona asihlanganeni sibe imbumba sikhuphulele ubukhosi bokhokho bethu. Ubukhosi bethu bashabalaliswa amabhunu ashabalisa amabhunu yes ngoba bebehlangene manje kufanele ukuthi nathi sihlangane sibe into eyodwa ubuye umhlaba ngoba umhlaba yiwona ophethe konke okwethu okuzasihlomula siphile thina nezizukulwane sibe into umhlaba wethu umhlaba wamakhosi sizokwazi isizwe sethu silime kudliwe emhlabeni konke okulapha ikwethu thina amakhosi ababuye sihlangane bondaba ezithe. Ngiyabonga.
We cannot allow our land to be taken as easy as it happened kudala. Bayazi abathathele amabutho wethu inyanga zethu ngisho nobukhosi bayazazi siyalifuna lelo zwe. Commander Moni.
Ngiyabingelela kinonke ngizoqala ngokubingelela amakhosi engihamba nawo ngizowabiza wonke ngamagama ukuthi niwazi namhlanje ngapha enondaba ezitha inkosi uNtuli bese ngibe nengonyama umzizi bese ngibe nengonyama uMashiya bese ngibe nenkosi uMabaso bese ngibe nenkosi uZulu Makeba. Ngiyabonga nako Operation Dudula ukuthi ihambe izifike nathi namhlanje sazoyihamba lendlela ngoba agcini la ukhona la sazohamba siye khona futhi. Ngizonitshela just okuncane ngithi amaPutukezi yiwona nenhliziyo embi ukudlula bonke abantu. Anenhliziyo yayi kancane ngoba angeke uzuthatha umuntu yomdayisela omunye bafika badlengulwe ingane encane badlengulwe omama bethu babadayisele. Yisisibi sokudlula umhlaba ngoba ngeke uthathe umuntu yomdayisa. Umuntu akadayisa umuntu. Ngiyathokoza kakhulu ngizonikeza inkosi yami uMashiya ayichaze kangcono imemorandum ukuthi kahle kahle ithini kodwa lokho engikushilo yiloku vele ekuyikona esizele la namhlanje. Ngithokoza kakhulu.
Silana namhlanje sizofaka imemorandum embassy yase Netherlands. Makhumbula boma last month nges14 bese British Embassy sibanikeza imemorandum ukuthi sesikhathele lezi ezenzakalayo la enaheni yethu le sithule thina singamakhosi sithi akuzawulunga kungalungi manje banezi memorandum lana eNetherlands ukuthi sifuna abalungise lokho kwamosheka asili nabo ni osikufuna nje sifuna ukuthi nje bageza izwe lethu kuko konke lokho kwenzakalile igazi lichithekile namhlanje sibona izulu laduduma umhlaba yanyakaza abantwana barejwa yonke lenyakanyaka le manje sithi la into efunakalayo ukuthi umhlaba mogezwe ungagezwa ubani kufanele ugezwe abantu abamoshile so sithi athi size kubona sibanikeza memorandum ukuthi mabasilekelele ekugezeni umhlaba lo abachitha igazi kubona
The reason why we called you, we wanted when we read this memorandum, you must be present so that you can hear what is our demand.
I will hear your demands.
Unlike hearing them from the back door.
I understand. Yeah.
Morning.
Bayede! Bayede! Sithokoza khulu. Sibonge nesupport yomphakathi. Yasho ukuthi abantu bomnyama bakhathele bazwile. Sebekile inkosi yami ukuthi sithujwa imimoya. Izwe since wachitheka igazi azange ligezwe. Namhlanje sibona umhlaba yanyakaza. Singazi ukuthi nyakaziswa yini. Ngoba imimoya ikhona. So njengoba silana sizobanikeza memorandum. So I'll read this in English so that you can understand.
I've only been learning Zulu a little bit.
All right. So we're saying we as the concerned traditional leaders, headsmen, regiments, faith leaders and traditional leaders, handing over this memorandum. Our concerns is all about the challenges that we're facing as a country and multiple threats to the well-being of our people. Dedicated ourselves to put an end to all the struggles Bantu are facing. So determined to build a society free of violence, disasters, fear, intimidation, dignity and equality. So we engage you with the following: the cleansing of our land. What do we mean about cleansing of our land? We want, during the invasion of the colonization, we did not want to remind how much the Dutch settled in our land and how our kings and chiefs were killed during the fight for their land and their lives were lost. So we know in our culture, once you come into my house and you damage or you mess up in my house, you have to pay damages. We have to cleanse my house. That's our rituals. So blood was spilled in our country. All we're saying, we want what you did wrong to undo and do the right thing. So meaning the cleansing of the land, it needs to be done by the Netherlands. Okay. And then the land. The land, we know we've got historic memories or history that you've written when you invaded our country. That who was king here and who was king here. It will allow us not to fight for the land that we own, but then we want you to give us the history of our land. Who was king? Who was killed where? Who did you take and who did you not bury? So as we're saying, we want all the records of our land, the history of our land. We want to teach our up and coming generation about our history, not the Boer history or the British history. We want to teach them our history, and we believe that you have our history on your archives. So we humbly request if you can have that back as well. Okay. All right. So I think that's about the memorandum. So if you receive the memorandum, we'd ask you to sign the memorandum. Both so that you acknowledge that you received the memorandum, and Umtuana and myself will also sign the memorandum as well.
All right.
Is that fine with you?
That is fine with me.
So you received the memorandum?
Yes, strongly stands. We will receive the memorandum and I will share it with the people responsible for...
So did you understand the whole memorandum, what it's talking about? It's talking about the land.
Yeah.
Where in the history of this country, you came in our country, then you build up your companies, your mine. What we are saying, the beneficiary of those land that you have built, it should be within the community. Initially, you should lease that land back to the people. It must go back to the people and then you lease it. because that land was not taken rightfully, was taken through the wars. There's a lot of leaders, there's a lot of traditional healers, there's a lot of kings and kingdom that died during those times. And all of them, they were buried in a place where we don't know, where we need them today to become our ancestors. As ancestors of the country, they've now rise up. They are saying that we must go back and fight what belongs to us. So the memorandum is right and clearly, it needs a response. So whoever that you're going to submit the memorandum, if it needs be, we need to go to the Queen Elizabeth, let it be, we sit down and engage in these matters. Because these matters result in our history, result in our current generation and our upcoming generation. We want what belongs to the South African. Commanders, morning. That is why namhlanje we've got problem with people that coming from another country crossing the border and doing so many things in our country. It is true our country needs cleansing. There's so many bloodshed that took place where we don't know where our bones. We're talking about Abu Sarah Batman, namhlanje baba yenza iteju lapha. So there's many more of them, which they've got the record of all the people who died decades ago, centuries ago. So therefore, the kings are saying that we want the list of all the leaders or the traditional leaders and the kings that died, or all the lands, the names and everything, so that there should be a record in place, so that we can know who occupied where and where. This country is our country. South Africa is for South Africans. Commanders, morning. We are on. But we certain in supportive of the kings and the queens and the traditional healers as Operation Dudula. This is leading our manifesto. We're not indeed supporting the expropriation of land without compensation. Umhlaba must have owners who they are known by historically. Yes. And we cannot run away from that. People fought for this country, people died for this country. And there were people that were intruders to come and take over what belongs to us. Therefore today, as they said in their memorandum, that the cleansing of the country is very important. It is important, commanders. The way the way foreigners are doing as they please in our country, you can see there's a problem. And then there's a problem in human trafficking, which form part of that memorandum. that these people, they're stealing abantu babayise ngale kwamanye amazwe. The same human trafficking that is conducted by foreign nationals in our country. It needs to stop. Amandla! Amandla! Maibuye South Africa, maibuye!